What's good, Humble fam? Welcome into episode 3 of The Humble Show. I am Grant Fletcher. I am joined by one of my co-hosts, Brandon Cox. Brandon, how are you?
Doing quite well. I don't think I've quite graduated to co-host yet. I'd like to think of myself as the Neil Young as in the Crosby, Stills, Nash formula.
Yeah.
I show up, whenever I don't want to romanticize the plight of the common man.
You're putting in your residence is what it is.
Yeah. This is my internship.
Yeah, of course. And if we sound different, it's because we are different.
Yes.
Well, we're not different, but we're the same, but we're in a different place. That is, we are in the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Center in Birmingham, Alabama. It is June 6th, Sunday, June 6th, as we record this. And we're about to kick off day 2 of My Hero Con. What's up?
So, no, it's...
Did I say June 6th? It's June 4th.
June
You're right.
4th.
Oh, my God. We're already screwing this thing up.
Time
Anyway, we're just
travelers.
grabbing. We're just holding. If it's weird, if it sounds like we're adjusting our mics, it's because we're just holding on to a couple of wireless mics that we have here.
Oh, yes.
But we had a big day yesterday, and I really wanted to just take the time to sit down and talk about where we are in the show right here at the midway point while it's still fresh. And then later this week, we'll sit down and do like the post-mortem, as you will, on this whole event that we've had here in Birmingham. But it's been a good time.
I've had so much fun. As per usual, it's amazing to see the reaction of people that come by my booth. I don't know if it's been established yet, but I am 99.9% of the time the merch man. So as such, I get an amazing view of virtually everyone that comes through the doors.
Yeah.
It's every single time you get the fans of course, the more popular voice actor roles.
Right.
Of course, hence the name of the show. You have a whole lot of fans of My Hero Academia, and I don't blame it. The show is fantastic. But in addition, you'll see people come through the doors with more niche things that they want signed. And of course, they have that passion. They love the show. They saw it either recently or many years ago, and it's great to see just that variety of passion.
You know, it's funny because we were sitting outside the doors. It's like you come inside the building, and then there's another entrance into the convention center floor.
Yes, the vendor floor.
And we're like watching people come in yesterday. Me and Matt Hernandez, who left a minute ago. He's the main stage MC for most of the shows. And watching people bring in their stuff that they're like so ready to get signed. And one guy came in with this like specialized like professional case for Funko Pops specifically. It was like a custom. Well, I don't know if it was a custom made thing. He probably bought it, on Amazon or whatever. But it was a briefcase that had 6 or 9 slots or whatever, and they were windowed, so you could put each Funko into each little slot individually. They wouldn't touch the other one, wouldn't bump up against the other one, and then you could see each one inside the briefcase as well. So he was like ready to go. He was going to go to hit table to table and just pop that thing open at every table, get his thing signed, and then move on to the next one.
There's something about identifying that need. I mean,
What do you mean?
Aside from the fact that this is a minor engineering marvel, I must say.
Sure.
There are not only these items that people purchase, but these people have the, I guess the phrase is the common sense that okay, I'm looking to get multiple Funko Pops signed.
Mm-hmm.
I need a device like this. I need to either search it out and purchase it, or I need to actually make one of my own. Let me tell you, and this is just the way that my mind works. I think that it was about 2 or 3 shows that I volunteered for before I realized, you know what? Maybe a backpack would be very beneficial in my situation. Maybe just holding a variety of belongings in my arms, very haphazardly, dropping them on occasion.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Maybe that's not the way to live. It took me it wasn't even so much of a I'm a postmodern man who does not need bags. I do not need bags in my life. I don't like that shape. It was just more along the lines of, oh wait, yeah, backpacks.
All I need is a flannel and a good pair of hiking boots, and I'm good to go.
Right. Just be a.
That's Brandon in a nutshell.
Yeah. So I just love whenever someone has an issue. In this case, holding a large variety of Funko Pops, and just immediately, or at least to our eyes, immediately like, oh, this is something I need to remedy.
Yeah, look, I and here's the thing, like, we were looking at it like I respect what this guy, I respect it fully. Like, I'm not that guy, but I respect what you knew what you wanted, and you went for it, and you did it. And, these shows are full of a lot of people. It's like, okay, that person knows exactly what they want, and they're doing it. You know what I mean? I think, there's a guy walking around yesterday dressed as a shrub. And the X-Men voice actors were very taken with the shrub. You know what I mean? That guy was like, I want to dress like a shrub. And here's the thing, you see all the costumes. You're the first thing they see when they come in the door, so you see all the costumes immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of all the costumes and cosplays that I saw yesterday, while I did see some that were perhaps more of a technical marvel, more technically impressive, whether it be focusing on pieces of armor or perhaps a prop. And by all means, I see more that were flashy, more captivating. But this man, you could spot him anywhere in the venue.
Yep.
His costume was instantly just your eyes were drawn to it. It was as me who does not wear glasses on a normal basis and probably should. The green, at the very least, if he was at a certain distance, the green blob was pretty much omnipresent throughout the day. Yeah.
People were like, word was spreading about the shrub. I want to talk about, before we get too much further into the show itself, like the nitty gritty. Like, I think people that are listening to this that are not part of the crew, they want to know about how it happens, because there's a lot of hard work that goes into putting these shows on.
Absolutely.
So I want to know, so when did you get into, you came in from Philadelphia, Mississippi. When did you get into Birmingham? What day? Today's Sunday. First day of the show was yesterday, Saturday. So when did you get in?
So we got in, and whenever I say we, it was a small handful. We got in on Wednesday. We parked our very large trailer at the dock of the venue. And Thursday morning, I believe, 8 a.m., the feet hit the pavement, and we started getting everything ready. We pulled everything from the trailer, and thankfully, at this point, we have a very large handful of volunteers who, they know the song and dance, they know the drill. And it was at that point, pipe and drape started going up, the floor was being measured. It's a wonderful thing to see a well-seasoned, well-oiled crew getting everything together and making it happen.
So pipe and drape is, so anyone knows, is just like when you see curtains around a convention of any kind. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're black. We use blue. And on a wire frame, that's the pipe and drape. So that's like a big part of the setup right there. So y'all came in on Wednesday, you said. Yes. I got into Birmingham from Baton Rouge at 1 a.m. on Saturday.
Goodness gracious.
So I missed the thing because, sometimes you have things going on, and I had a 6-hour drive from Baton Rouge. Couldn't make it. And that's basically what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to pack up this panel room. I'm going to help them pack up the main stage. I'm going to probably help them pack up the screening room. And then the screening room, not the screaming room. That's a different room.
Oh, yes.
That's on the other end of the venue. And honestly, there's very little setup in the screaming room. Anyway, we are going to get in the car, myself and Corey, my buddy who's handling for Adrian Hoff, who is the voice of Nightcrawler.
Yes.
And he's amazing, by the way. We had a little conversation with him. We'll get into more of that later. But We are going to pack that up and do it all over again and get into Baton Rouge about 1 a.m. tomorrow, so I can take care of all the other duties back in Baton Rouge I have to take care of, and then start editing this show and mastering this show, so we can push it out. And then so we do the show yesterday, and you're basically chained to the merch table. But you get to see like you said, you get to see everyone coming and going.
Yes, there's never a moment where very rarely is there a desire for me to escape from my little island, because it's exactly as you say. I have so many people coming up to me voicing their own enthusiasms, voicing their own glowing, wonderful experiences, and I don't think that I could get something like that in any other way.
Let me and Moonbeam, of course, she's at registration. Moonbeam is our other host on the previous episode. She said she was going to try to stop by this recording, but she's busy downstairs. Again, this is to illustrate how busy this is. One of the hosts of this show can't actually get away from what she's doing to come and record this one because there's stuff going on. So there's that whole aspect of it too. Let me ask you this: what did you forget to pack this time? Because I always forget at least one thing.
As far as like me with personal items, or as far as
no. Yeah, your personal items, like in your luggage. What did you forget to pack?
Honestly, I did pretty well this go around. There was I suppose this doesn't really necessarily have much to do with the con itself, but there was a more formal belt that I meant to pack, and I saw it. I think I might have left it on my bed.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I because I'm so accustomed to this now. I mean, not only do I travel for the shows, but of course I travel for leisure. I always keep a solid toiletries bag packed with my very, very particular shampoo, conditioner, and facial scrub. Many versions of those. And of course, a large variety of other things. So whenever it's time to go, whenever it's time to hit the road, that bag is already packed. At this point, thankfully, there's no forgetting of major clothing.
Yep.
And so thankfully these days, not a whole lot forgotten, which is a very, very much a relief. I've cultivated a sense of readiness, just kind of subconsciously, I suppose.
Yeah, and to illustrate this further, Brandon's ready to hit the town after every Saturday night show day. Like he's got like a nice jacket he's gonna wear. He's got a nice shirt he's gonna wear. He's got nice boots he's gonna wear. Brandon's already very tall, and then he wears these boots, and he gets even taller. So that's really what Brandon is about. And I'm proud of you for remembering all your stuff, because I forgot deodorant this time.
Ooh.
So but the thing is, I remembered it on the drive.
Okay.
So I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I actually put deodorant in my bag.
Mm-hmm. And
so we had to stop at a gas station at some point in time, and of course, you look at your little, we determined sundries is the word you use for that.
Is it instead of toiletries?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or just what have yous, right?
Yeah.
And so I get out and I look in my bag, and I was like, yep, there's no deodorant in there. I went in there, found a little travel sized thing of Speed Stick, not my preferred brand, but still a fine brand. Okay, nothing against them. Speed Stick, if you want to throw us a few dollars, we would very much appreciate it. And everything was okay. Last time we went out, when we did the Mobile Bay Anime Fest over in Daphne, Alabama, I forgot socks.
See, that was the one thing I was going to mention. I would say that if there's anything that I have forgotten in the past, it's going to be socks. Which, goodness gracious, that is not the move. You are, no matter what you do at the con, you are on your feet a vast majority of the time. Yeah. Nothing that is a piece of clothing that cannot be worn over and over again throughout the weekend.
Yeah, that was a trip to Walmart for me over in Daphne, Alabama. So, but I feel like I'm doing okay. Also, call back to episode 1. I'm acting onions this weekend because I have no idea where my name tag is.
Ooh.
I know I have it, right? I never leave the hotel without making sure I have it packed up, right? And as Brandon goes, oh, wait, mine's not out, but he just grabbed it out of his bag.
Yep, that's one of those things that I don't realize I don't have on until the very end.
I know it's in my possession. I know I packed it somewhere after the last show, but it's in a pocket of a bag somewhere. It might even be here with me right now in Birmingham. I just don't know which pocket it's in. So I got to figure that out. But again, I had to get out of town so fast on Friday afternoon that I didn't really search for it that well. I looked around a little bit, but couldn't find it. So I don't know. I might just be asking for a new one.
It might be necessary,
with my head down.
But in the meantime, you have an invisible name tag that reads "Hey You."
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Whenever you wear a blazer, Moonbeam has just walked in the door. Hello. When you wear a jacket around a convention center, it looks like you belong there, so it's fine. I was telling Brandon I'm acting onions right now because I don't know where my my name tag is. I don't know what I did.
Charlie will give you a name tag. Are these
Who will?
chairs connected?
That's fine. Yeah, all the chairs are connected. So Moonbeam has just stumbled into
I'll
the
just
panel
squeeze
room
right
with
here
us
between
from-
you guys.
Yeah, come sit down. Come sit down.
I showered.
We only have 2 mics between the 3 of us.
It's all
But
good.
it's all good. We so Brandon leaves the convention yesterday, and he goes to Tejas de Brazil for his first time ever, which is
I thought that was just Texas Day, Brazil.
yeah. Well, they might call it that in Philadelphia,
Well, they would.
but in the big city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
Baton Rouge.
we say with a little,
Ooh
with a
la
little
la.
flair on that. You know what I mean? How you feeling this morning?
Like 10 pounds of hammered
Hey.
fish, 5-pound bag.
All right. Well, we'll edit that out.
No, I'm
You
kidding.
drinking your matcha?
Yeah,
I
so
just got
fancy.
done double fisting black coffee
We'll edit that out.
and my oh come on now, and my emergency, which is kind of a must for me now. I kind of feel like if you're gonna go, look, this is my protest. If you don't listen to anything else I've said anywhere else in any other episode, or in this episode in particular, if you're going to a convention, bring emergency. That's my number one. Start taking it the day before and then finish it on the last day.
Oh yeah.
Con crud. Yeah, she just takes whatever. Con crud is a real thing. It's not a myth.
I will get just little tiny bits of it, and it's not even after the show. It's like after the first day, like that Saturday afternoon. My nose is running. My throat is somewhat sore, but thankfully, like that's only really a palpable thing for about 2 hours, and then my body's like. The comedian Patton Oswalt has a concept that he's talked about called stage wellness, and that's you have to at least consciously or subconsciously tell your body to get it together because you still have things to do, and I think to a certain extent, thankfully my body does that.
I don't have the willpower to do that, so Yeah.
For your body to do. To hop to it and not delay.
So what was your night like last night?
Okay, so yeah, we had the rave, and then we shut down. So me and Greg went back to the room and realized that we didn't have not near thing to drink in there as far as a cold liquid. And we were looking for booze, and we don't, Greg doesn't booze it up. But I was looking for a cold drink. So we went down to the hotel bar and had a Diet Dew, and in walks Grant and Matt. We visited for a little while with a guy named Byron. Talked a lot. It was fun. What did you do, Brandon?
So other than going to Tejas de Brazil, I got back to the hotel not quite knowing what was going on, and I was met with a wonderful bunch of volunteers who they had themselves a new card game called Bad People.
Was it all based on them? I'm kidding.
I'll be honest. I was a little bit underwhelmed by the game as a whole. I could have played anything with those people and it would have been fun, but God, I'm trying to think of so the gist of the game, without getting too much into details. There's one person who draws a card, and it's like a bad aspect. Like who in this group is most likely to have the most divorces by the time that they're 80, and everybody votes and everybody has a big laugh. And everybody's friends. I thought that it was going to get real venomous and nasty, and it was. Once again, I guess I'm glad that it didn't. I'm glad that no feelings were hurt and that everybody was best friends still in the end. But for a game called Bad People, I was anticipating some some real spicy cards, and we did not get to those.
Well, that's okay. I think that really shows you how we got a good group of people, I think, that come to the shows.
I think so. I think that this
we're really good at taking things in jest, and yeah, that's just kind of the environment we're in. And we're good at ingesting things, as Moonbeam has said.
I think that game.
Unless she takes a swig of this matcha.
I think that game was a lark.
latte.
I think that it was put forth by humble enterprises. This is not a game that you can buy in stores. This was just a test to ensure that we were all, a decent bunch of folks.
Yeah, we're weeding out
any of the baddies.
any of the actual baddies. You know what I mean? That's really part of the whole experience here. So. Did y'all get to have any conversations with anyone on the floor? You get to visit with any of the guests yesterday, or have any fun with that?
I got to hang out with Lenore Zahn for a few minutes, and she is delightful. I hung out with her for a few minutes, but that's about it. I didn't really leave the ticket booth very much yesterday, which is kind of what I generally don't get out much. What about you? Did you get to hang with anybody?
Yeah, Lenore is, like you said, a delight. I agree with that statement. We talked to her a little bit, and we mentioned Adrian a little bit earlier as well, who was Nightcrawler's great. And he pointed out, we talked a little bit about, because he played Jean Grey's dad in X-Men 3, The Last Stand as well. So we talked about him eating brunch with Ian McKellen and things like that. So he's got a lot of really good stories. If you ever see him at some event near you, highly recommend going to talk to Adrian. Excuse me, talk to Adrian. And you know what's funny is I made a Magneto helmet for the convention. And honestly, I thought like we'd just have it for people to take pictures with. There's no real good place for us to put it at this particular show for that kind of central sort of thing. But I did put it on the stage for the big X-Men panel we had, and Adrian tried it on at one point in time as well. So. That was a lot of fun. It's weird. Well, it's weird because it's tall, but it's narrow. So like you have to kind of like shove it down onto your head. But then whenever you sit on you gotta have a cone head. But then whenever it sits on your head, it also is a little too big. So anyway, that's just you really just gotta love the game. You know what I mean?
I gotta tell you, this is completely off subject. But yesterday. We had a at all shows we always have like a situation, and we were talking do we need to ask these people to leave? They were causing a little bit of a ruckus, not too much, and I was like me and Joey, our event manager, were talking, and I said, well, let's just roll with it, and if they and I paused for a second, and Joey said, well, if they act onions. If they start acting onions, we'll put them in the skillet.
And that is the humble way. We don't put up with any onions.
That's right. But yeah, I thought that was funny because I honestly, not to make this whole thing about this, but when Brandon first said that, I said that's not going to catch on. I was like, he said this twice, and that is 100% not going to catch on. That doesn't have a ring to it. That's not going to work. And turns out,
it's got some longevity.
I caught myself using that phrase several times this weekend, and so is Joey. And I feel like it's catching on. Some things just catch right on to you.
It's one of those concepts that instantly you can infer exactly what is being said.
And you can get your Actin' Onion shirt at our social media accounts at the Humble Show, HUMBL3 Show, on Instagram and TikTok. There's no shirt. Not yet. There could be an Actin' Onion shirt. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, we had a scenario where I overheard someone who was in cosplay yesterday talking about some inappropriate interaction they'd had with someone. So I was actually talking to Brandon at the merch table when I overheard it. So I stopped and I turned around and I said, "Hey, who was it that did that? So we can remedy that situation real quick." But she said, "Oh, it was some guy on the street, like before we ever came in, like he did it and he took off." And disappointed that it happened, in general at all. But I told her, I was like, "Yeah, we have no issues with asking you to leave if you're going to behave in such a way that you're going to make everyone else feel uncomfortable at these shows. It's just not. We're all here to have fun, We're not going to try to ruin anyone else's fun. We're not going to try to do anything that's going to hurt anybody." Cheryl has walked in the room. Cheryl, we're recording.
Wait, are you Cheryl?
Is Cheryl here or Karen here? You see, we could want. She's trying to whisper so she doesn't get picked up on the microphone. Do you want to say hi? No, she said no. Here's the thing about Cheryl is she is our stage manager. She makes sure all the guests get to and from the stage, make sure they're taken care of, make sure they're good to go before they go out or come back or whatever, but will not talk on a microphone at all. But she doesn't need a microphone is the thing either. Yeah, she'll talk on a megaphone, but she doesn't need a microphone either. She's very good at projecting. That's trash. You don't have to. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Just real quick, I would like for Cheryl to say a little something about what she does. She is not just our stage manager, she's also our travel agent for the company. And she has 2 name tags. So if somebody do be acting onions, she turns into Karen.
I do.
Feel free to get up on that and
I officially do have 2 name tags, and I do switch between the 2 sometimes, So it is okay. But yes, I do have dual roles. During the normal off time of a show, I do book all of the guests going from point to point. It's my day job. And then when I'm here at the cons, yes, I make sure once again I help with guest services, get the guests going from one to one, make sure that they have everything they need to get their day going. And then, of course, I always check on my volunteers because that's another thing. We always have to make sure that our volunteers are taken care of. So that's another little thing. You usually don't see me. Usually I have a straight face on 90% of the time because I'm walking from point to point in a very quick pace. And, I nod. I do the whole nod thing on my way. Make eye contact. That's a good thing. Eye contact's
is a good thing. Very important.
Very important.
If you're going to be, in this type of role, yeah.
Yes, eye contact. It's all about the eye contact because you say a lot with your eyes.
Yeah.
You don't have to use your mouth. You just kind of look at somebody and go with the flow. So that's a good thing.
And then whenever she arches the eyebrow in the eye contact as well, you know it's on. So, and just to illustrate, like I said, with the type of environment we have here too, Cheryl's whole family pretty much works with us as well in some capacity. So that's just kind of
Cheryl's
how it is around here.
Got a package deal.
Yeah.
It's Cheryl and her husband Marty and her son
No one
Devin.
has to tell them anything. Devin. But no, so she keeps the family in line so that we don't have to.
That's right.
And really just her presence keeps them in line, let's be honest with you.
And she does not generally need a microphone. She does not generally
Oh.
need any kind of megaphone, but she does line control. Sometimes if we need some line happening to line up, she is the one.
She gets the costume contest,
Oh, yeah.
Basically in shape for us as well. Gets everybody lined up, make sure everybody's briefed on how it's going to go, and everyone knows what to expect.
It's very difficult.
There's a lot, there's a lot of moving parts with that costume contest. People sit down and they watch, the parade of costumes come in and out of the room. But it takes a lot of prep work to get that thing moving. Brandon never gets to see the costume contest.
I went at My Hero in Texas, actually.
Wow.
I caught the tail end of it. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of witty banter. There's a lot of talent. It's a wonderful thing. But, that's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
We had Remy Domino and Beku Kaz at that show. Bye, Cheryl. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes. Everyone.
We're about to get back to work here shortly. Kiss, kiss. All right. Yeah, we had Remy Domino and Beku Kaz at that show, and you have not had an opportunity to meet those ladies. They are awesome.
Wonderful folks.
Yeah, we hung out with them in Mobile Bay by the pool as well. They were at that show in particular. They're like I said, they're good folks. They've got a very good online presence as well. So if you're not checking them out on the gram or the TikTok or whatever, you should be. Beku is how you spell Beku. Remy is how you would expect Remy to be spelled.
I've got a little something about those guys. We're gonna have them at a couple more shows here coming up. They haven't been announced yet, but and I'm not gonna say what show. But those gals, we went out to eat not too long ago with I guess it was in Mobile Bay, and I was not trying to talk to anybody. I just wanted to go in and get a cold drink and just sit. And I wasn't trying to middle. I don't like to middle. I don't know if you know what middling is, but that's when you sit in the middle of the table and have to carry a conversation within the whole thing. And I wasn't trying to middle. I wanted to sit on the end and nod and smile. And those ladies rolled up and sat right by me, and I was like, great. I like these gals, but I'm not trying to talk to anybody right now. And they lifted my mood within 30 seconds, and I was middling the rest of the night. It was good. It was a good time. So if you have the opportunity to check them out, meet them, they will bless your heart because they are precious. And I'm gonna give this microphone back to Grant, and I'm gonna have to roll out. So see ya.
Like I said, we were talking about how you couldn't be here because you were busy, and then now you have to leave again because you're busy because that's just the environment here. So, Brandon's probably going to have to go too in a minute as well, and I'm just going to be a slacker and wrap this thing up, I suppose. Brandon, anything you want to add about day? What are you looking forward to on day 2?
So
day 2 is starting in like a few minutes.
It really, it truly is. So day 2, I mean, needless to say, you get a lot of folks from day 1, and the raw enthusiasm, which is still present, is replaced by a bit more of I'd say a careful consideration of what's around them. They've gone through the first day. They've sped through all the vendors, all the booths, all the artists, all the guests. They have gotten a good lay of the land. They've done the things that they knew exactly what they wanted to do the very first day. But the second day, that's when they can really, for a lack of a better words, marinate in the atmosphere. They can really spend a few extra moments at each and every vendor, viewing everything that they have. It's a bit more of a slower pace, and honestly, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, once again, you get to see a lot more of that enthusiasm. Just, I suppose, now they're comfortable in the situation. They know exactly what they have in store for them, and they sit around, chat for a little while, and you get to really pick their brain about what exactly.
Yeah, don't pick anybody's ear.
Don't pick anybody's ear. No, that's the
General
sort of
rule of thumb.
That's the sort of behavior that'll get you thrown out here.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Saturday. If we do a show that has a Friday date, Friday's cool because people get to come in and kind of almost like a preview day. But Saturday is like the sugar rush. You get the sugar rush on Saturday, and then, like you said, you just kind of get to sit back and relax and kind of take it all in on Sunday and really like process what's going on. So it's always, I think that's what you get when you do the full weekend at the convention versus one day. You don't feel like you have to get everything in one day. It's a lot. That's what I see there too. The enthusiasm. So that's my favorite part about these conventions is seeing how enthusiastic everybody is about what's going on. You know what I mean? Like you feel that energy in the room. It's really cool. Even if you're not the biggest fan, if you're working at the show and you're not the biggest fan of whatever it is, it's really cool to see everybody just getting to be themselves and really just talk about and share with one another this cool thing that they all love, together. And when you walk in the door, you've got that in common with basically everybody's in there. So it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, and I feel that we every single show we tweak and tailor the experience to maximize that enthusiasm. Once again, it's a wonderful thing to see.
That's awesome. Well, Brandon, I'm gonna let you go because I know you need to get back down to the booth, and we'll wrap this thing up. So everybody say bye to Brandon.
It was good to be here. Thank you, everybody.
Well, I hope everybody's had a good time. You can shut that thing off. Yeah, it'll clip, but whatever. And I just want to say it's been really cool to see people listening to the show and looking at where people have been, all over the country and the region and whatnot, listening to this show. We really appreciate all the reviews and comments and things like that. And I just want to say, wherever you found us at, YouTube or Spotify, Apple Pod, whatever platform you're on, every time you hit subscribe or like or leave a 5-star rating or leave a comment, even on social media, whatever, all of those little individual interactions go a very, very long way into helping us grow the Humble Fam and, nurture this community that we have. Because that's really why we wanted to do this show, is to try and bring more folks together into the conversation at the same time. Because we do these conventions, we go town to town doing these conventions. We have all these little pockets of people, but this actual show can bring everyone together. So definitely wherever you are, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment if that's an option wherever you are. We really appreciate it. They all go a long way, and we appreciate you for listening. And we'll finish My Hero Con here today. But what we're going to do here is we're going to sit down later in the week. We're going to do the full post-mortem on this show, My Hero Con Alabama. So we'll release that as our next episode. I'm looking forward to that. Be on the lookout for it. But until then, stay humble.